it's really difficult to, as a creative, I think, value your work when you don't value yourself. Most of the drawing work actually comes from all the mental work. And so what happens is we think it's okay not to rest from it. Or we give ourselves less time for a project when we actually need more time. And then that that causes more stress than it needs to. When actually, like, if you think about that part of the process as something that you need time for, or something that is a part of your process, you allow yourself to take that rest. And even when you run a marathon or when you're doing any sort of running, you kind of have to pace yourself, right? To be able to complete it. But then for creatives, we think that, oh yeah, we have all these ideas and we have to, like you said earlier, go. And we have to pursue this idea. And then, or we think, what if somebody else does this idea before we do it? And so we're trying to do all of that when we just need to really just do one thing at a time. So I think having a morning and night routine, spending time with other people and not inside your own head, because that's that's a huge thing that happens when you have a mental health issue. It's like you are drowning inside your own thoughts. And so it really takes somebody to come and like pull you out for you to get out of your head. And when you do creative work, you need to use your head. So the same thing could happen even with your creative work, where you kind of just drown inside of it and don't actually create the work. And so you have to be really careful of that and interact with other people. I think even especially as a freelancer, you have to be intentional about meeting people, talking to people, having conversation, getting out of your own mind. Because when you have a mental health issue, there are these things called negative core beliefs. That core belief could be something like, I am not good enough, or I am not capable, whatever it is. And all the other thoughts stem from that. And then also we feed into insecurity and comparison because of our social media and getting it's kind of like having a building with different windows in it, and you can see everybody's life only from that window. Okay, you're standing on the other side of the road and you can only see every family there from that window, and so you only see that bit of them, and then you think, oh man, I wish I had that, or oh, I wish I could, like, my window look like that. You always think all these things, but you don't actually know the person. You don't actually know what they're going through. Other careers don't really have to post on social media as much as we do. Have you noticed that? Like, let's say you're a surgeon, you're not going to post a photo of your surgery and say, okay, I finished all 31 surgeries this October. Okay. If your entire identity is in what you do, then you have to, like, your life stops living after you can't do what you were doing before. And I like have to keep telling myself as well that I'm not my work. My work isn't the only way in which I'm called to my purpose. There are so many other things that make me who I am. Exactly. And it's not just this one thing. When you have an issue like this, you're not able to do anything that you want to do. And so you end up just feeling terrible. But you have to be proactive about doing the things you need to do to feel the way you need to feel before you go into feeling that way. Like you were saying about little things you can do to help yourself. I think one is, just focus on smaller tasks rather than bigger tasks. Even slow progress is progress. And that's what will happen, like, when you have a mental health issue. Earlier, you could do something in this amount of time. Now it takes you like this amount of time. The same project. Like, it could, like, earlier you could do it in 5 minutes, but now it may take 3 hours to even just push yourself to get up and do that 5-minute task, because you have to, like, even just getting out of bed is a task. And so those things could be really simple things. Like, I could not recommend more, like, take a walk. If there's any, like, places around you, like, step out and just, like, be out of your space, because that gets you out of your head. If there's nature around you, I would say, like, really enjoy it. Even if it's just one tree, like, go look at it, or just stand, or whatever. Like, do things like gardening, or things with your hands, anything that can get your hands doing something, even with, like, playing with clay or whatever it is. I think do something with your hands. Do something that you wouldn't, like, that isn't part of your work. See, the thing is, like, you lose interest in the things you normally do, right? The things that you're normally interested in. And it's difficult to feel like you want to do that at all. So you have to push yourself to do something new, but that is still interesting.
Right.
So you have to think of like little things, and that could be like, if you know somebody who can help you do that, that's the best, because it's really tough to push yourself to do that unless like if you are already the kind that pushes yourself to do something, then you might be able to, but it's very tough to do that. So if you have somebody who you can say like, hey, these are 5 things I need to do for myself every day. Or it doesn't have to be 5 is too large. 2 things I have to do for myself every day. Do that. Then exercise, even if it's really hard for you to do, push yourself to do it, because it gets your endorphins and all of that going. When you're in going through depression or anything like it, you think that you can do things, but it's really difficult. But you know what, all that being said, like it feels like it's the end and you're just stuck in bed, and like when you're in it especially, you feel like you can't get out of it ever, and it's going to be like this forever. I think that's one thing I have to say, like when the way the world talks about depression is like you're never going to get out of it, or like when you're in it, there's nothing you can do to get out of it. And I feel I have to say this again, that you can get out of it, and it's only a season, and you're not meant to stay like that. It's really important to see the light at the end of the tunnel. When you're in it, you will feel like, oh, nobody else understands. I can never get out of this. I'm stuck in this. Or every day feels like this, no matter what I try to do, even if I do all the things my therapist tells me, or even if I am doing all the things that the internet tells me to do, I'm still stuck in this. I would say still keep pushing yourself to come out of it, because the only person who can push yourself ultimately is you.